I've never cut before where I've had full control, where I felt like I've been in control.
Yeah.
How much further can you go as a natural athlete?
You could get to the Ben Weed 100%. Good, nice. Good, nice. Good control. Go again. Go all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Lovely.
Christ. At least I've got you here to tell me when to call it a day.
What did you say you was this morning weight-wise?
54.9.
Which is what? 3.5 kilos off your lowest stage weight. And how much fresher do you feel now?
I don't even feel like I'm dieting.
Yeah, not at all. You know, if you know you've been dieting for a long period of time, you kind of feel a little bit burnt out from dieting for so long.
Yeah,
You
I
feel
think
like
you
that
get
drains
lot
your
of
energy a
mental
little bit more.
fatigue as well, where you
Yeah.
think like, oh, this is getting hard. Whereas like, I feel like I'm just getting started.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good position to be in. And
Yeah.
like, I know you spoke about this to me, like relationship with food-wise.
Yeah.
How would you say it's been different this time round to previous?
I just know I've got control over urges. I know how to manage my eating. I know to space my meals out so I'm not gonna be hungry or panic about being hungry. I think that's when a meal plan really helps as well, because you're just eating much larger amounts.
Yeah, you're a lot more fueled from what it is you're
Yeah.
consuming. Yeah, 100%. And I think it is so refreshing because, like, I'm sure you see it as well. How many people say bodybuilding ruins their relationship with food? I think for you, it's probably done the opposite, right?
Oh, definitely, it's
Yeah.
done the opposite.
Yeah.
I've never cut before where I've had full control, where I felt like I've been in control.
Yeah.
And this is the first cut that I've done where,
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Really good.
it's
And I
been
think as
great.
well, like, the more muscle you now have, the larger the refeeds are getting.
Yeah.
So like you said the other day, what did it work out to be, your high day?
2,800.
2,800, and it's like, you probably ate that relatively easy, obviously meal spacings aside.
Yeah.
You probably went in quite well. And like
Yeah.
the fact you can take that food, still be dropping weight at the same time and like looking better from more food. I can imagine it's like a nice psychological change because you're so used to thinking less food is a better look, when
Yeah,
in reality more food
definitely.
ends up being a better look.
In my head, I kind of have that slight worry like, oh, what's this going to do to my body?
Yeah.
And you always prove me wrong anyway.
Yeah, and then you check in and you're like, holy shit, this looks night and day different. So
and
yeah,
then I feel better as well. I have so many people because they're like, Sharna, you're constantly eating. Like, and one person was like, yeah, I'm surprised you keep the weight off. And I said, well, my rest day food comes to about 1,600 calories.
like your 5 meals are probably less calories than what a normal person would consume in 2 meals.
Yeah.
So like just spaced
Yeah.
differently, isn't it?
Yeah. But they always laugh at me because I'm constantly eating. I'm like, right, next meal.
Good. Yeah, perfect control. Good. Now drive your feet down as you press out. A little bit of pressure on the bottom. Now drive down. Good, like that. Pressure down and out. Good. One more. Nice. Lovely. I'd actually like to know if this is a true thing. Your coordination in keeping things balanced and level and your connection, I think comes from gymnastics as well
Yeah.
as training experience. But like, you're probably one of the only people I've seen do that where you're completely level from the knees, where someone's always a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So I
Really?
think your coordination with like setups, feeling everything as you should, definitely
Yeah.
comes from that.
I think I'm definitely conscious of it
Yeah.
because of gymnastics.
How long have you RDL'd for?
A long time.
Yeah? Would you
Ages.
say that like, the more you've stuck with it, the more you've been able to like refine where you feel it? As in like now, you can feel this way more in your glutes than let's say last year doing it?
Yeah, and I used to get a lot of it in my back.
Yep.
And if it didn't get my back, I'd kind of finish the rep and be like, well, where did I feel it?
Yeah. I think it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like, you can hover around the same weights, but make it better and better over time. Like, it hasn't got to be a case that you can go 5-10 kilos up every session. It's like a little bit more and just refine where you feel it. I always try and imagine an exercise, how it translates to a pose. So when you're on your rear shot, that heavily links to like the loads that you're lifting now in RDLs.
Yeah.
Like, you look at how you've improved this, how your rear shot looks.
Yeah.
It's night and day different. Your rear shot could have just been like all erector. Now it's like glutes and hamstrings. Good. Yeah, strong, Sean. Good, and again. Nice and strong. Yeah. Pull through the glutes, pull through the glutes. Yeah, good. Like, for anybody that's struggling with an RDL, like feeling it in their glutes, what are you thinking about when you're doing it?
My main thing is keeping lats engaged, so making sure my back stays nice and straight. Before, I kind of sat into the RDL a bit much, so I'm making sure I keep it as a hinge.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's improved
100%.
the feeling in the glute as well.
Because you're actively pausing at the bottom, right?
Yeah, so after my prep last year, we pulled the RDLs back and added in a pause. And that's been a massive thing that's helped with my form and overall strength as well.
Because I think you feel it way more in the stretch, right, when you're in the pause. It's like pause, control, and then you can almost like restart where you want to feel it. Because like it's a lot of weight to be pulling you down. Just like holding the weight, drive it through the area that I want to drive it through.
Yeah.
Similar to a leg press. Instead of like dropping in and just shooting back up, control it, pause, drive through the area you want.
Yeah, it almost gives you a chance to really connect at the
Yeah,
bottom.
exactly that, yeah,
And
100%.
think about that pull-up coming from the glute.
Yeah, exactly that.
Did you think I'd look leaner in person? Did you think
No.
I'd look leaner?
I can tell you're closer than where you need to be. One thing I have noticed though, you're gonna hate me for saying it, I think we have to take your upper body workout.
Really?
Your upper's fucking wham, yeah.
From those lateral raises.
Even just arms, like your arms have come on as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it looks in the poses. Ultimately, that dictates everything. Because like you standing is very different to you like hitting a pose. So we'll see how it looks in the poses. But yeah, that's the first thing that stood out to me. I was like, fucking hell, like your upper's
And because
blown.
it's hot as well, the veins popping out.
Yeah. Even as you're like holding the bar, the striations that you've got through there, it's like that's exactly what it needs to be. That any more extreme than that, you can potentially be marked down for it. Good. You'll see that when you watch it back on the video, like that was a long pause.
Yeah.
But it's also not a bad thing. Like, you're not training your hamstrings or glutes when the bar's at the top. You're training it when it's at the bottom. So you're spending more time where it's effective. When you're at the bottom, drive this back. Back and then up. There, like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way better.
Probably need to do that when I do step-ups as well. I think I tend to let my knee come
travel forward a little
slightly.
bit. That little cue makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
That's literally like, you know what we said about the RDL?
Yeah.
Pause at the bottom. You said re-engage the muscle you're trying to train, exactly the same as that. As you're descending, stretching through the glute, pausing,
Yeah.
back, then up. Makes a huge difference.
How does it work with like muscle imbalances? Because I've noticed that like all through gymnastics, you favour a leg all the time. And I was always left leg in front, which means I feel so much more stable doing everything on my left leg. But when it comes to this, I actually struggle more on my left leg, which is really weird. But then someone told me I actually execute better on my left leg. So it's like, how do you make sure you're doing both things the same?
I always like to be really like standardized with the setups. I don't know if I said it to you before, like put in things like a strap in the exact same foot position that you was before. So when you then do the other leg, you know exactly where to put it. Because even if it's an inch out, that over time is going to make a huge difference.
Because I do always start with my weaker leg.
Yeah, that's another way of doing it, yeah.
Yeah, but then it just feels like my stronger leg struggles more. But then I got told it's because when I'm doing my weaker leg, I'm pushing a lot more on my back leg.
Makes sense, yeah. I also think posing as well, like your side poses are both slightly different.
Yeah.
So not even in terms of like actual muscle mass, more so the way that they look relative to where the hips are, and all that's going to play a role in like the way you train, the way you move, even the way you walk as well.
Yeah.
But I think as long as it doesn't cause any like pain and injuries, usually fine. I think it's only if like you start getting knee issues in one leg because the other leg's stronger and compensating, that's when it becomes more of an issue.
I wonder if this is why I always have an issue on my left hip.
Yeah. Or even lower back maybe potentially as well.
Yeah,
like
it's always the left side.
Yeah.
But I think I noticed as well when I'm training quads, my weaker side, my knee likes to go in.
Yeah.
So I think my left leg likes to take the load.
Mm-hmm. What we'll do is we'll look at this. We'll look at this setup here, and I'll just double check everything's where it needs to be there. Like you're very good at this. You record a lot of your stuff, like just looking back and looking for like where you start to then compromise. Like you said about the knee going in a little bit. Use that as feedback and think, right, if I notice that start to buckle, either don't do additional reps because you're not gaining out of it if it's buckling because you're not targeting that muscle, or just then again assess it and make sure that you're consciously trying to put more pressure through so it doesn't buckle. A little things like that will make a difference.
Yeah.
And we cue that hip back. Back. There we go. Better. Again. Yes, there you go. And again. Right through that right glute, right glute, right glute, right glute, right glute. Yeah, again. Again, for you, it's calling this one at the right time, like you said to me before, because if you'll continue to go, and your lower back will just get a little bit more every single time, and you're not really getting more out your glutes. So you're better off to save more energy for the next set, because you're then going to have more power in the glutes. Because if you go to the second set and your back's already so pumped, the first place this is going to bias is your back rather than the glute. Good, again. Yeah, lovely, good job.
Oh, that's when my left leg starts to...
I'll tell you when. There. Do one more. There. Yep.
Stopping the rep earlier, is that to make it more glutey?
Yeah. You're coming in like to the point your hips are starting to round. It's again going to go straight into lower back. Just think you've worked within like all of your deep stretches now. You've done a split squat, you've done an RDL, two of the movements where you're going to go really deep in the stretch. For the rest of the movements now, you just want to keep it just all on the glute, nothing else.
Okay.
There. Good. There. Yep, spot on. Yep, leave it there. Good job. Nice.
Oh my God, I felt a massive difference.
Yeah, that's good.
It felt like the glutes couldn't relax at the
Yeah,
bottom.
that's what you want. What would you say has been the most challenging thing about this diet so far, if there is anything?
I find work days the hardest. I think with having a break time, you can't eat when you want to. You have to wait. And also it's just spread. Like I'm up from 4 or 5 in the morning and I'm not home till 9. It's just a long day.
Yeah.
And I think as well, my most challenging time so far was obviously when I was starting to get depleted, because I don't know, I just knew I needed the extra food by then, but it wasn't until I had the extra food that I knew I needed it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and it's made me look back and think, you know what, I started to feel foggy and stuff, just all those signs that you need a bit of a feed.
And it's good you're getting to know that as well, because I think, especially where before, like you wasn't aware of how you was going to feel as you got leaner. You kind of know from doing it previous now that like, this is the process is a little bit like that, isn't it? Like your look's very different. It's never going to be the same look all the way through show day. It's going to be like, it gets good, then it gets a little bit blurred, then it gets better, then it gets good. Like it's never a consistent look. And I think now you know like what feeling comes with the look. Like you know when you're flat, you know what that feels like. As you said about the brain fog, like you know how you meant to feel relative to where you're at in the composition,
Yeah.
which is really useful.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, as much as I hate pulling back, I know it's needed for a better look.
I was going to say,
So
is
I'm
that
always quite reluctant
Yeah.
when we need to pull back slightly, but it's for the better.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think I still, I don't know, I think it takes me a couple days later to tell you how I'm feeling.
Yeah. What was it you put after the high day? You put, "Are you sure?" with like 3 question marks, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm like, do I need this?
What about the training side? Because would you say not pushing to failure is hard? Because I think for you that's probably something which is going to take a little bit of adapting to, is realizing that you don't have to like destroy yourself in every single set.
Yeah, I think 2 days ago that was the best session I'd had in a long time. But I almost still had that feeling like we haven't worked hard enough today. But actually everything was like 10 times better.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like I always think I need to kill myself in every set
Yeah.
for it to be a good session, and it's just kind of realizing that that's not always the case, especially when you're in a cut.
Yeah, I guess it's just changing like what you associate with a good session in your mind. Because if you think the only way I can feel a good session is if I foul on every single set,
Yeah.
compared to I want to feel productive at the end of this, like every set has moved up in some way, whether that's weight, reps or form,
Yeah.
then you start like enjoying that side of it more instead of trying to always think you need to just die on every set.
And I think I may know that I'm not, well, sometimes I know for a fact I'm not going to get the next rep, but I try and go for it anyway. And it's like, well, what are you
All the
getting
time,
out of it?
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, I'm like just checking out my abs and stuff.
I'm really interested to see like where you're at now compared to the condition at this weight before. Because when you first stepped on stage at the WOW show, which was, I think it's a year from next week.
Yeah, I actually look
think
back
it
at
is.
the photos and I'm like,
I
I think I look better now.
100%,
For sure.
100%.
But
You were
one
probably
thing-
like 4 or 5 kilos heavier than you are now at that first show, 100%.
Yeah, but one thing I've massively noticed is I'm definitely a lot more dense in my lower body than I was last
Yeah,
year.
agreed.
So like, especially in my front pose, I think like I've just got a little bit more of like that glute pop.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That was my area of weakness. So yeah, we've
And I think-
worked on it.
I think for sure, like I know every pose matters, but when you come out as a wellness athlete and you hit that first front pose, it's like instantly the eyes are there. Kind of like figure when you come out and you hit that first front pose, it's all the judges see first of all. So to have such a strong front pose, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so she looks good. And
Yeah.
straight away, that's such a good attribute to have, is having that strong first front pose.
Yeah.
So I think that's really worked well in our favour this year, for sure.
Ooh, that feels nice.
As well, for you, I don't, unless you really wanted to like, really take this far, as in like Olympia level, you couldn't take drugs. Because you're honestly, your upper would take to it like,
This is what I was going to ask though, is how much further can you go as a natural athlete?
quite far. You could get to the Ben Weider 100%, which is like natural. You can get to Olympia via the Ben Weider naturally. So that'll be your next stage when you turn pro, will be to do the Ben Weider in America.
That would be really cool.
It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good.
Would I focus on like, say, like 2 years of growth?
Honestly, given the way you reversed this time round, if it's better than that again, you can have 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year will be enough. Because honestly, that's the mistake most people make, is like, if you gain too much straight out the gate post-show, you're just so limited to how long you can grow for, because you have to diet again. Like if you get too soft, then it's
Yeah.
like, right, we've had 10 weeks, now you've got to pull back down, whereas you,
Yeah.
it's just been like so slow and steady all the way up. That's why you've grown so well.
I think I'm going to do even better this time around.
Yeah,
as
that's
well,
what I mean.
'cause I
So-
feel like my mindset's different.
You put that in the factor as well, then
Yeah.
it's just, again, longer, slower. You're going to start prep leaner again. You'll be back to this weight easier than before this time again. Like, it's just a constant evolution
Yeah.
every time you get better at it.
For me, it's always going to be trying to improve no matter what the end goal
Yeah,
is anyway.
100%.
So.
Yep, because obviously, like, this diet aside, we may not have pushed it as hard as we had. Hadn't you felt this good, it may be in a case of, all right, we just do more frequent diet breaks, things like that, but you felt good the whole way through. So that's a large element in it as well. If you're enjoying it, feeling good, you can push a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're always kind of a little bit in and out of it, it's harder to push, right? Good, nice. Good, again. Yep, easy still, again. Again. Go. Yeah, nice, lovely. Let's go. One more. Yeah, nice. Good job.
Oh my god.
It's wild, isn't it? It's really, really good. Really, really good. That with a pump on as well is like exactly where you need to be. So I mean, any more condition that comes through there is only going to help. Like it's not like we don't need to do anything on an upper body standpoint. Lower we've got to get a little bit tighter with, but we can't do it in one push. Like that's why I'm happy we've got the 7-8 weeks, because it's a case of coming down, come back up, coming down, come back up, because that will get the lower in nicely. If we do this in one push, your legs look smaller. So we've got the perfect amount of time. We've got the perfect amount of time.
Okay, so that first part, in here, I want you to look down when you do it, so you explain the quad. And then when you come to this part, just make sure that that backhand is hidden before you open it. Just put this foot over there. Nice, good. Okay, last part. I want you to just allow it to float a little bit more.
Yeah,
so
I'm really bad at like.
You're doing everything perfect, you're putting everything in the right spot. I just want it to like kind of float one to the next.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit. Allow it to float. That's good. Good. Okay, this part, let's just slow that down a little bit. So that's the last part to move the those ones.